Jeff Pegues joins us now from Washington. Jeff, officials say that lone wolf attacks can really be the toughest to predict. So what are they advising that the public do to stop a potential attack?
Well, as we've seen with what happened in Paris, the police need the public's help to sort of warn of what may be coming. We've heard since 9/11 this popular refrain from law enforcement: if you see something, say something. And what we've seen over the last 7 days is that it is something that law enforcement is advising people to do, because in a lot of these cases that they've seen across the country, these lone wolf cases, what they've found is when someone notices something that's perhaps out of the ordinary and notifies law enforcement, that's when these incidents are typically stopped. So it is a combination of human intelligence in that when someone speaks up, says something to law enforcement, that's when a lot of these cases are stopped or thwarted. And that's why you hear law enforcement really across the country. It's not just federal law enforcement officials, but local as well, advising people to really pay attention to your surroundings and people you may interact with. And if there is something unusual, notify law enforcement.
All right. And Jeff, the Justice Department has said they're monitoring potential ISIS sympathizers. How do investigators identify someone who might pose a threat?
Well, they're looking at social media. That's one tool that they use, because what they've found is that ISIS is so remarkably active through social media. And then you see all these propaganda videos that ISIS releases. So if there's any type of social media interaction from potential sympathizers, that's what law enforcement is looking at in this day and age. And so that's where a lot of these investigations start. And that's what we found from talking to our law enforcement sources, but also you read the court documents when they apprehend someone, and often it is that social media link that gives law enforcement a clue as to what's happening.
Can we talk a little bit before you go about those ISIS propaganda videos, the ones that appear to threaten New York City and Washington? Just how confident are officials that those videos really don't indicate a credible threat to either of those two cities?
Well, they're pretty confident. They'll tell you that. But that's why they're also saying, listen, there is no specific or credible threat, but if you see something, say something. So they're as confident as they can be. They feel like they've made all the preparations they can possibly make, and they have the resources that they have at this point that can help thwart any potential threat. But the message that we have been hearing, despite this daily onslaught from ISIS threatening attacks, what we're hearing from law enforcement is the same thing, that there is no specific or credible threat against the United States.
All right, Jeff Pegues for us in Washington. Thank you.